I'm back with another video. As you know, Business 101 or Failure Friday. Still haven't made up my mind yet. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications, like, comment, and yeah, so you can get all of the bomb videos that I'm going to be dropping. So as you guys know, this video, from what it's titled, this one is about how I lost 7,000 plus from a website developer. So basically, real quick, a little background on the website developer, if you want to call him a developer. This was somebody that I grew up with. I known since I was like 12 years old. So I was just like, you know what? And seeing his work online, I thought it was his work. I was like, oh, he's going to be like the perfect person to work with. He basically was like, oh, I did websites for Christiana Hospital, Wilmington University, like the list goes on. So I really thought like, okay, this is real deal. So mind you, you know that you guys know I'm looking at my phone to make sure I stay on task with my notes. So basically, as time went on, before we moved forward with the website, well, actually halfway through the website, after I gave him half of the deposit, like $3,500, he was like, all right, you need to redo your brand, your logo, your photos, everything, if you want it to be up to par with the luxury lifestyle that you're doing. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should do that, which I shouldn't have did. I should have stuck to my gut, but I didn't. So basically, at the end of the day, I ended up paying him more money to do work that was so unnecessary. But anyways, time went on. I ended up giving him another check. So mind you, I'm already spending over 7,000, and it was time. It was near the end. It was like 75% done, and there was nothing done. He had nothing to show for it, nothing to show me at all, any of the work that they did. So I was just like, why would I give you 1,500 if you have nothing to show? Bruh. Like literally nothing to show. So as time went on, like I said, he had nothing to show. So long story short, we went to court, and yes. So the first court hearing, you need a Form 50 to move forward at JP Court when it's business against business. Because, you know, it wasn't person against person, it's business against business. And he had no Form 50. So the judge was just like, we're going to have to reschedule so that they can get their paperwork together. So pause. Let me also, real quick, I did a little bit of research, and that's when I found out that he never paid taxes. Bruh. And that the business was never registered. Bruh. And the business didn't even have an address. Bruh. The judge was like, where's your address? Like, there was nothing. Like, you can get a P.O. box. Like, anybody can do that. You can get one from UPS. Like, he had nothing to prove that he was a legit business. So, and also I did a little bit of research. All the people that he said he worked with, I started contacting them. And even like Caitlin from Team Mom, the one who lives in Delaware, her people were like, no, we don't know who that is. We never worked with him, and we never heard of him. So that's when I was like, oh my God, oh shit, I should have really did my research. Like, I didn't do the research that I should have did because I figured, oh, I've known this person half my life, you know, that everything should be all right. And no, everything wasn't. So then we go back to court, and the judge is like, he hears both sides, and then basically the judge was just like, well, oh, mind you, he didn't have a Form 50 once again because he was not a legit business. So time went on, and we ended up getting a letter in the mail because the judge didn't make his mind up right then and there, and everything was dismissed because there was no paperwork for this business. There was no taxes paid. Well, it looks like if you look it up in the system, he did file, but he never paid his taxes. And then eventually, like the last 3 years before that court date, he just stopped even registering the business with the state of Delaware. So it was just like, damn, like, what do I do? So I talked to a few people, a few lawyers, and the best route to go was to file a police report against the person who cashed my check. So, like I said, I grew up with, but his little partner, or whatever you want to call him, was the one who cashed my check. And they did not deposit my check into a business account. They deposited my check into a personal account. So then I had to get my bank account subpoenaed or whatever that is. The cops had to look into that and get paperwork. And yeah, so I had to press charges against them personally since they don't have a business. And that's how that went. So there was criminal charges pressed for that whole situation. So moral of the story is basically do your research before you write that check. Don't do your research later on or when things go left. Do your research before you hand over that check, because I wish I would have did my research instead of later. And also, I did get a reference to have someone else do my website from somebody who's been in business for 25 plus years, but I didn't listen. And I just should have listened, should have took their advice. But I was like, oh no, let me go with somebody, let me give them a chance. Somebody else I grew up with who makes it look like, who made it seem like he was this big time website developer and brand manager. And the whole time, yeah, I just got screwed over. But definitely listen to other entrepreneurs because they've been through it before. And she went through it. And I'm like, damn, I really should have listened to her and used her team.
Before you end, I have a quick question for you. Given the story that you just detailed or explained to us, how would you say the unfortunate situations that you had to deal with in business, either how have they motivated you, or have they motivated you and inspired you to continue success within your business?
Well, be honest. When everything happened, I don't know how to say this without basically just saying this, but I just was depressed as fuck. Like, I was just like, what am I supposed to do? And nobody is helping me with this situation. And yeah, I was just stuck, like literally like stuck. And yeah, I was depressed, I was upset, I was mad, I was bitter, I was angry. I was like, I'm never hiring anybody again that I know. I'm gonna hire people that I don't know, because people who know me want to always screw me over and take my money. They think because I'm sweet and innocent and cute little girl, I ain't about my shit. So I was mad as fuck. But how I got over it was my mom said that if I don't get over this, it's gonna hold me back. And I'm gonna be one bitter motherfucker. So that shit was gonna hold me back. And I had to suck it up, because she told me when times when she lost 16,000, 20,000, 45,000, somebody running off with her blueprints, all types of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? And she's like, your story, you have to tell your story. And by you telling your story, it'll help the next person out. Because my mom's like, you still got money. You can still move forward with your whole situation. Like, what are you crying and upset for? You still have money. This isn't your last. So what made me move forward and where I found the motivation was, keep moving. Business is business. You got to take some L's sometimes, whether it's a big L or a little L, and help out the next person. So somebody out there who's working on their e-commerce business, share this story with them so that they don't have to go through what I went through. So they can eliminate that whole obstacle and take that $7,000 and invest in an inventory or advertisement promo where it really should go. So I probably say that's probably how I move forward. Willing to share this story so somebody else won't go through the same shit I went through.